The night is calm. The stars stretch endlessly above, their light scattered across the dark canvas of the sky. The air is still, carrying only the faintest whisper of the wind. And here I stand, keeping watch, not as a warrior braced for battle, but as a guardian of silence. My engine hums softly, steady as a heartbeat, a rhythm meant not to command, but to comfort. I am Optimus Prime. I have carried the weight of command through countless cycles. And yet, in moments such as these, I am reminded of something far greater than duty. Night is not only a time for rest. It is a space where dreams are born, where sparks find stillness, where even the heaviest burdens grow lighter beneath the stars. When I was younger, long before I carried the mantle of Prime, I often found myself drawn to the quiet hours. Cybertron at night was a different world. The towers of Iacon gleamed less fiercely, softened by the glow of Energon rivers. The meadows shimmered faintly with their crystalline grasses, releasing tones so delicate they could only be heard by those willing to pause. The quiet forests chimed gently with the wind, their crystalline leaves carrying notes like distant lullabies. To walk among them was to feel the planet itself dreaming. Even now I hear those echoes my own systems, though vast and strong, fall into rhythm with the stillness. The soft vibration of my spark chamber aligns with the calm around me, creating a harmony not of battle but of peace. It reminds me that engines, like sparks, are not meant only for motion and struggle. They are also meant for quiet endurance, for steady presence, for the reassurance of sound that comforts rather than disturbs. As I stand beneath the sky, I think of you, resting, breathing, listening. Perhaps you too carry weight from the day. Perhaps your thoughts are restless, your spark unsettled. Yet here, in this moment, we share the stillness. My voice, my quiet engine, the hum of the night, all of it is here to guide you gently toward rest. The stars remind me of Cybertron skies, rivers of silver flowing endlessly across the heavens. They were symbols of constancy, of hope that endured even when shadows gathered. Tonight, they serve the same purpose, each one a light, steady and patient, whispering that no darkness is endless, no silence empty. Beneath their glow, even the strongest find ammunition to dream. So breathe with me now. Slowly, calmly inhale the stillness of the night. Exhale the weight of the day. Imagine the hum of an engine, soft and steady, not loud, not commanding, but soothing. A rhythm that carries you into calm. Feel the stars above, countless and eternal, watching gently as you close your eyes. For this is the gift of night, engines softened into lullabies, silence transformed into comfort, dreams rising gently like starlight. And as I keep watch beneath the sky, you may rest, knowing that peace surrounds you, steady and true. The night deepens, and with it stillness. Around me, the world slows to a gentle rhythm, one that speaks not of urgency, but of peace. My sensors hear the smallest details, the brush of wind against stone, the faint shifting of leaves, the steady pattern of my own systems. All of it joins together into a harmony so subtle it could be missed, unless one chooses to listen closely. I think of Cybertron and how it too carried such moments. Even a world of metal and energy has its hours of silence. I remember walking the outskirts of Iacon when the city rested. The towers, so fierce in the day, softened in moonlight. The plazas were empty, their polished stones reflecting silver glow. The rivers of Energon pulsed faintly, their current like the steady rhythm of breath. And across the fields, crystalline grasses chimed softly, each note delicate, almost shy, as though the planet itself whispered lullabies to its children. Those nights reminded me that strength is not always found in power or command. True strength is also the ability to be still, to remain steady, to listen. My frame, vast and heavy though it may seem, has always carried a spark no different from any other. And in the silence of night, I feel that truth most clearly. I am not only a prime, nor a warrior, nor a leader. I am simply a spark among countless others, seeking peace beneath the stars. Even here on Earth, the night carries the same lesson. The forests breathe softly, their branches swaying in quiet rhythm. Rivers move with patience, not rushing, not demanding, simply flowing forward. The stars above mirror those of Cybertron, reminding me that across worlds and across time, stillness holds the same power. It is not bound to one planet. It is part of the universe itself. I often wonder if the stars above us are listening. Perhaps they too are guardians of the night. Each one a light shining not to command, but to guide. And in their glow, I am reminded of the simple truth that even the vastness of space can offer comfort if we choose to let it. So breathe slowly. Inhale the calm of the night. Exhale the weight of the day. Imagine walking the quiet streets of Iacon, the silver towers glowing softly above you, the Energon rivers pulsing gently at your side. Hear the delicate chime of crystalline grasses. Feel the steady hum of the planet beneath your feet. Let these images surround you, steady and kind, until your spark feels lighter, your thoughts quieter. For the night is not an emptiness to be feared. It is a companion to rest, a keeper of dreams, a reminder that even in silence, you are never alone. And as I remain here on my night watch, my engine soft and steady, you may rest, knowing that the world holds you gently, and the stars above keep their patient vigil. As I remain here in the stillness, my thoughts return to nights long past. Cybertron, though vast and filled with endless motion, also knew the beauty of quiet companionship. The moon of Iachen cast its silver glow across towers and meadows, and beneath that light, sparks would gather not as soldiers, nor as workers, nor as scholars, but simply as companions. I remember evenings in the Grand Plaza, when the city-rested groups of friends would sit together, their voices lowered, their frames eased from the burdens of the day. They did not gather to debate or to plan, but simply to be, sharing silence, sharing presence. The moonlight touched their armor, softening even the hardest edges. And in that glow, unity lived effortlessly. Musicians often brought their instruments into the plaza. They played not for applause, but for peace. A single note would rise into the air, carried upward to the cliffs and towers, returning as an echo softer than the original, yet somehow richer. Others would join, one tone, then another, until the plaza filled with a harmony so delicate it seemed to blend with the hum of the planet itself. We would listen together, sparks quiet, optics lifted to the sky, as if the music belonged as much to the moonlight as it did to us. The elders, always steady, sat quietly at the edges. They spoke little, yet their presence grounded the gatherings. Their optics reflected the moon, and their stillness seemed to remind us that peace is not fragile when it is carried together. They were the silent pillars of those nights, reassuring us without words that harmony was possible, and that it was ours to choose. One memory stands brightest in my spark. It was a night when the plaza was filled, not with ceremony, not with command, but with companionship. Sparks gathered in circles. Music drifted gently. Laughter wove between the towers. And silence, too, was present. Deep, steady, comforting. There was no need for speeches, no need for declarations. Unity lived in every glance, every gesture, every quiet note. It was not something forced. It was simply shared. Now as I stand beneath Earth's stars, I recall those nights with reverence. And I see their reflection here as well, families gathered beneath the glow of the moon. voices lowered in calm, laughter carried gently across the stillness. Silence shared not as emptiness, but as presence. These truths are not bound to Cybertron. They live wherever sparks, wherever hearts choose to come together beneath the same light. So breathe gently. Imagine yourself in the plaza of Iacon. Silver light touching the stones beneath your feet. Hear the soft music rising, joined by echoes. Picture children's laughter carried on the air, bright and free. See the elders sitting calmly, their presence grounding all who gather. Let these images surround you, steady and kind, carrying you into rest. For companionship is not loud. It is not commanded. It is lived quietly in the moments we choose to share, beneath the steady glow of the night. The night skies of Cybertron once held only peace for me. The moon of Iacon glowed steady. The plazas hummed softly with laughter, and the gentle notes of music drifted into the air. Yet, as cycles turned, I began to notice something different. Shadows did not fall from the stars above. They rose quietly from within us. And even in the most peaceful of nights, small fractures began to stir beneath the surface. The musicians, too, seemed to feel it. Their songs grew shorter, their notes hesitant. A melody that once rose seamlessly into the night would falter, ending abruptly, leaving echoes that felt incomplete. Sometimes a note struck the air and did not blend. It clashed, ringing harshly before fading into silence. Even in the moonlight, their instruments gleamed differently, reflecting not calm but restlessness. The younglings still played, but their laughter was softer, less free. Their games ended sooner, their steps less bold. They stayed closer to their guardians, who watched with optics that no longer glowed only with pride, but with worry. The trails of light that once scattered joy across the stones now flickered uncertainly, like sparks struggling to hold against the wind. The city itself seemed to change with us. The towers, bathed in silver light, still rose tall, but they no longer stood as one. Their reflections stretched into longer shadows, casting divides across the streets. The Energon River still pulsed, but their glow felt subdued, their hum unsteady. The harmony of Iacon was still present, but fragile, trembling, as though aware of what was to come. Yet even then, fragments of peace remained. I remember one evening when a single musician struck a pure, clear note. It lingered in the air, rising gently, unbroken, carrying across the plaza. For a moment, all voices fell silent, and the city seemed to breathe together again. I recall a youngling's laugh, bright and sudden, scattering upward and bouncing between the towers. A reminder that joy still lived, however faint. These moments were small, but they mattered. They whispered that hope was not gone. Now as I stand beneath Earth's stars, I understand the lesson more clearly. Unity does not vanish all at once. It falters in small ways. Hesitant words, unfinished songs, laughter that grows rare. And yet, even in its fragility, it remains possible. The moon above, steady and unchanged, reminds us that light does not abandon us, even when we falter beneath it. So breathe softly with me. Inhale the calm of the night. Exhale the weight of unease. Imagine Iacon's plazas beneath the silver moon. Voices quieter. Music hesitant. Laughter subdued. Yet all still touched by the same steady glow. Let that vision remind you that even when harmony trembles, fragments endure, waiting to be remembered, waiting to be carried forward. For beneath the stars, even in whispers of doubt, hope still spoke. Quiet, fragile, but eternal. As I kept my night watch, the whispers of unease lingered in my thoughts. They carried weight, yes, but they also carried lessons. For the night has always been a teacher in its silence. Truths reveal themselves, not loudly but softly, as if waiting for sparks patient enough to listen. I came to understand that unity is not forged in ease. It is tested in uncertainty. When all is calm, togetherness feels effortless. But when shadows gather, when doubts take root, unity becomes a choice. Not one made in grand declarations, but in the quiet moments, when a spark decides to remain present, to remain kind, to remain steady. The moon of Iacon reminded me of this truth. Its silver light touched all, no matter their doubts, no matter their fears. It did not choose whom to shine upon. It asked nothing, yet gave everything. Its calm, its constancy, its gentle reminder that what divides us is always smaller than what unites us. Beneath its glow, I saw that unity was not about sameness. It was about belonging, even in difference. I recall one evening when silence hung heavy across the plaza. Voices were subdued, music absent. Yet a group of artisans gathered quietly, each holding small fragments of their work. They did not boast of their creations, nor compare. They simply shared, passing their pieces around, letting others hold them, feel the weight, see the detail. No words of grandeur were spoken, yet in that act, they reminded one another of the beauty of contribution. In stillness, they chose unity. And so I came to see that unity is like the echoes of the valleys, or the hum of a quiet engine. It does not demand, it endures. It carries forward what is given, whether strength, or kindness, or hope. The smallest act, the gentlest sound, can become something larger than itself when carried by others. Hope, too, is built this way. It is not always strong, not always steady. At times it flickers, trembling like a flame in the wind. Yet even then it remains alive. It waits for us to protect it, to carry it forward, to share it. And when it is shared, it grows. Now, beneath Earth's stars, see the same truth reflected here. The night is not empty. It is filled with quiet presences. The sigh of trees, the rhythm of rivers, the glow of distant stars. Each one small yet together, they weave a harmony vast enough to cradle worlds. So breathe with me now. Slowly, calmly, inhale the stillness of the night. Exhale the weight of uncertainty. Imagine the moon above Iacon, silver and steady, shining on all without division. Picture the artisans sharing their work, the child's laughter scattering upward, the elder's silence grounding all who listen. Let these images remind you that unity is never lost when we choose to carry it, even in fragments. For the night whispers this truth. Unity is not the absence of struggle. It is the presence of choice. And hope is not distant. It lives here, soft and steady, in every spark, willing to believe. There came a time when the stillness of Cybertron's night no longer felt whole. The moon of Iacon continued to shine, steady and unchanging, casting its silver glow across the plazas and towers. Yet beneath its patient light, the harmony that had once lived so effortlessly now trembled, fragile as glass, resting on the edge of breaking. I walked the avenues one such night. The streets, once filled with companions, were quiet. Sparks still moved along them, but fewer now, their steps slower, their voices low. Conversations ended quickly, their tones edged not with anger but with hesitation. Where once silence was shared as comfort, now it felt heavier, uncertain. The plazas too had changed. The gatherings were smaller, scattered. Their circles no longer joined but apart. The musicians were absent more often than present. And when they did play, their notes faltered melodies that once soared into the night, now ended abruptly, leaving echoes incomplete, like words cut short. Even the younglings seemed quieter, their games shorter, their laughter rare. They clung closer to their guardians who watched with optics glowing faintly in the silver light. Burdened by unease, they did not speak aloud. The towers reflected this change. Their silver glow remained, yet instead of blending gracefully into a shared skyline, they stood apart. Their shadows stretching long across the city. Each one seemed isolated, bathed in light but divided by distance. It was as if the city itself no longer remembered how to breathe as one. And yet, the moon was unchanged. Its patient glow touched all equally, asking nothing, offering everything. It reminded me that though unity had grown fragile, it was not gone. Fragility does not mean absence. It means care is needed. Gentleness must be chosen. Even the most delicate flame, if tended, can endure the darkest night. I recall pausing in the center of the Grand Plaza, nearly empty that evening. The stones beneath me still shimmered faintly with the moon's reflection. The air carried no music, no laughter, only silence. And yet, in that silence, I felt the faint hum of the planet itself, steady and unbroken beneath the surface. Cybertron still lived, its spark still whispered, and within that whisper was the reminder that harmony, though trembling, was not lost. Now beneath Earth's stars I see the same reflection. Nights here too can feel fragile. Thoughts heavy, voices hesitant. Yet above us the moon shines unchanged, constant. Its light does not vanish when we falter. It remains steady and kind, waiting for us to notice. So breathe with me now. Inhale the calm of silver light. Exhale the weight of silence. Imagine Iacon beneath its moon, its plazas quiet, its towers shadowed, its music hesitant, yet all still touched by the same patient glow. Let that vision cradle you, reminding you that even in fragility, unity endures. For the night whispered gently, peace may tremble, but it is never fully gone. And hope, like the hum of a quiet engine, continues, soft, steady, eternal. There came a night when the stillness of Cybertron felt thinner than ever before. The moon of Iacon still hung above us, calm and patient. Its silver light spread across the towers and plazas. Yet the city below no longer reflected its glow in harmony. It was as though the moon watched over a dream fading into shadow, its radiance unable to hold the fractures together. I walked the grand avenues slowly, listening for the rhythms that once lived in every corner. The crystalline pathways still shimmered faintly, but the hum of footsteps was sparse, irregular conversations, once steady as a chorus, now came in fragments, short, uncertain, leaving silence in their wake. Iacon still breathed, but its breath was shallow, uneven, as though struggling to hold on. The plazas were emptier still, where once companions had filled them with laughter, music and gentle presence. Only scattered sparks remained. Musicians no longer gathered freely, their instruments, once glowing beneath the moonlight, rested untouched. The echoes of their notes had vanished, leaving only the hollow quiet of absence. Even the younglings whose laughter once lit the stones now played in shadows, their voices subdued, quickly silenced by the caution of their guardians. The elders, ever steady, still sat at the edges, but their silence, once grounding, now carried heaviness. Their optics reflected the same moonlight as always, but their gazes were distant, filled not only with memory, but with worry for what was slipping away. They did not speak, yet their stillness seemed to say, "The harmony we once knew is faltering." And yet, the moon remained unchanged. It shone without wavering, its light touching all equally. Its patience whispered a truth that even in the most fragile silence, unity was not gone. It was waiting, asking only to be remembered, to be chosen again. Even then, glimpses of hope lingered. A child's laugh rang briefly, sharp and pure, echoing across the towers before fading into quiet. Two sparks shared a gentle gesture, passing a burden from one to the other. A faint note from a hesitant musician drifted into the night, fragile yet whole enough to remind me of the songs that once lived there. They were small, but they mattered. They told me that even on the edge of silence, hope was not lost. Now, beneath Earth's moon, I see the same truth reflected. The night may feel heavy. Stillness may feel fragile. Yet above us the light remains steady, kind, waiting for us to notice. And within that light lives the reminder that even at the edge of silence, unity and hope endure. So breathe with me now. Inhale the calm of the night. Exhale the weight of the day. Imagine Iacon beneath its moon. The plaza's quiet. The tower's shadowed. The silence fragile. Yet all still cradled in the same patient glow. Let that vision guide you gently, reminding you that even in endings, light remains. For on that night, though harmony trembled at the edge of silence, the moon of Iacon whispered still, hope endures, quiet and eternal. At last, the nights of Cybertron changed forever. The plazas grew empty. The laughter of younglings faded into memory. The music that once rose freely into the air fell silent. Even the quiet companionship, once so natural beneath the moon of Iacon, became rare. And though the moon continued to shine, patient and steady as always, the unity it reflected below no longer lived as it once had. I remember my final watch in those days. I walked the avenue slowly, listening for echoes that no longer came. The crystalline pathways still shimmered, but their glow seemed faint as though weary. The towers still stood tall, their peaks bathed in silver light, but they no longer blended into one vision. They stood apart, divided, each casting its own shadow. The streams of energon flowed steadily, yet their hum was subdued, carrying the weight of silence. The grand plaza, once alive with song and laughter, lay nearly empty. Only a handful of sparks remained, scattered and quiet. A musician held their instrument, but did not play. A child clung to their guardian's hand, their laughter absent. The elders sat in silence, their optics reflecting not only the moon above, the sorrow of what was slipping away. And yet, the moon did not falter. Its silver light touched every stone, every tower, every spark that remained. It reminded me that though harmony had fallen silent, its essence was not lost. Unity may fade in presence, but it endures in memory, and memory carries hope, even through endings. As I stood in the center of that plaza, I felt the hum of Cybertron beneath my feet. The planet's spark was still alive. Faint, yes, but steady. And in that hum I heard a truth. Peace does not vanish, even when silenced. It becomes something we carry, something we remember, something we pass forward. Now, as I speak beneath Earth's stars, I share these memories not with sorrow, but with reverence. For the nights of Cybertron taught me that fragility does not mean failure. Silence does not mean absence. Even when harmony falters, the echoes remain, guiding us, reminding us, waiting for us to listen again. So breathe softly now. Inhale the calm of the night. Exhale the weight you no longer need to hold. Imagine the towers of Iacon bathed in silver light. Picture the empty plazas still touched by the glow of the moon. Hear the faintest echo of laughter, of music, of voices carried on the wind, memories lingering, soothing, gentle. For though the nights of Cybertron have passed, their lesson endures. Engines may grow quiet, but their hum remains. Dreams may tremble, but they still rise. And hope, though fragile, endures eternal. Rest now. Close your eyes. Let the stars cradle you in their steady light. Let the hum of my engine, soft and constant, remind you that you are safe. For though I keep watch, you may dream, and in your dreams, carry this truth, even in endings. The light of unity remains.